YouTube mode. What's good? YouTube saying something to the Twitch. Twitch saying something to the YouTube. Now look, I know I'm late, but we here with the neutral game tutorial for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm not gonna lie, neutral is not that hard. It's not as complicated as people make it seem, but it does differ based on the characters you playing. As you can see with this wonderful lineup of characters we got here, we got a bunch of variety. The reasoning being, certain characters are better for neutral game close up. Certain characters are better for neutral game from far away. So I'm gonna give y'all multiple examples with each of these characters. And yeah, that being said, let's get right into it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so overall, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Most of the time in Sparking Zero, neutral game looks a lot like this, right? You just see a bunch of sidestepping over and over, shit like this. Not a lot of people use my playstyle, but there are some people who, you know, will use Ki Blast to approach you. Like, there are people who will like Ki Blast and walk towards you and, you know, just do whatever the hell they want to do. Cool, right? And then there's some people who will simply just run. Like, you know, shoot Ki Blast over and over. Not to say that it's like, you know, a horrible thing to do, because some characters are made for that, right? But overall, that being said, I'm gonna teach y'all a couple of methods that I use personally on different character types to win neutral. All right, so overall, first things first, my main way of approaching on my characters that I main, right? So mainly, you know, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, that's my main in this game. A lot of people know that. So the way a lot of people, even not just me, would love to approach with Super Saiyan 4 Goku is by getting in about this range, or even if you start from back here, walk up, one Ki Blast at a time, and you can do this on any character, not even just Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? But with this character, what I like to do a lot of the time is walk up and keep poke. Just keep poking them as you get up to about this range. When you get up to about this range, I would like boost the amount of Ki Blast you're shooting to maybe like 3. So like that would look like this, you know, keep poking them. And mind you, I'm not just staying on the ground, walking forward, which you can do, but I'm keeping an angle. All right. So my angle that I like to keep is this like looking down diagonally angle as I'm walking, because that makes the Ki Blast hit a lot more than if I'm just like doing this. It just tends to work out more if you're at this certain angle coming up like this, right? So if you can, I would recommend you keep this angle. This is actually probably going to be your most successful angle in the game as far as like how you know, come at your opponent and like take your opponent overall. So as you're walking up, keep poking, as I was saying. Once you get close, you would, you know, maybe speed it up to like 1 or like 1, 2, yeah, maybe 3 Ki Blasts when you get up to about this range right here. And then once you get there, as I spoke about in my defense tutorial, you use the most lethal offensive option in your game, which is flying kicks, right? So when you put all that together, it should look like this. Now, what I just did after the flying kicks was the most safe combo you can do in this game, okay? This combo, you have to super counter. You cannot vanish it, because flying kicks, as you should know by now, is unvanishable, right? So what that means is this combo, all you can do to get out of it is super counter one of like the 5 hits, and that's really it. I fucked it up. So boom, on Beerus, that combo just did 6.6k, and half the time it does like 7, depending on how many of the shotgun shells catch them. See, like 7.3k. Now, on a character like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, for example, which I don't have on my team, this combo does about 10.5k damage, which is over a health bar. Mind you, that's against any character. I was testing this against like Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta recently, and it does insane damage, okay? So flying kicks, 5 squares, charged shotgun Ki Blast. All right. This is probably your most useful you know, use of the shotgun ki blast. A lot of people think it's useless, that, you know, it doesn't really do much damage, you know, because like you don't use it like the missile ki blast, you know. Like out here, as you can see, we're not even really hitting them like that. Even coming close, still barely getting any damage, getting like what, 1K at a time, something like that. Like, you know, it's not that great. But when you throw it in a combo is when it becomes most lethal. Okay, so boom, flying kicks, 5 squares, shotgun ki blast. That is your most lethal short combo in the game. Mind you, this does not only do like 1 bar of health per like time you do it. Your opponent isn't in a knockdown state or in a recovering state. They're just sitting there. So if you want to, you can do it once. Boom. Catch him again. Do it twice. That's 14K. That is 5K away from, 6K away from 20K, right? Not even for real, because I'm not even counting like the hundreds like that. So we're like 5K away from 20K, which is an ultimate in this game, okay? 10K is usually how much damage supers do in this game. So, I mean, we can just test it real quick and see. So from 1 super, which, you know, we all know and love, that is not even a full 10K. So you're telling me that this short combo that you can pull off like twice can give me about 14 to 16K in 2 little short 5-hit combos with the charged ki blast. Like, we're getting more than a super damage from that. And that's just on Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Imagine with Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta what this can do. All right. So this is your most lethal, in my opinion, neutral tool. Okay. I'm not going to say like, oh, which charged ki blast you would rather have. I think it's an opinionated thing, because at the end of the day, this does only really work with the shotgun ki blast. You can land this with other charged ki blasts, as far as like the missile one. Like, you can use that one, you know, like the same one you would use for combo resets. Like, you could use that, but it wouldn't do anywhere near the same amount of damage. So I recommend doing this combo specifically with the shotgun ki blast. As you can see, we're getting like 7.3K. I could also try this with like, I guess, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Without the flying kicks, clearly, because it doesn't have them. But as you can see, like, yes, we don't have flying kicks, but we're missing like a whole 4,000 damage compared to what Super Saiyan 4 Goku is doing when you do the shotgun ki blast. As you can see, like, it's crazy. We're missing like 3 or 4K there. Okay. So overall, that's your bread and butter, you know, close up neutral game combo. Not only combo, but like the way you approach your opponent as far as on Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Okay. So like I said, key poke, get close. Boom. Throw them in it again. And the only way they're getting out of this combo is either if they super counter or if they were to block high on your flying kicks. This is rare, depending on the character, once again, because you can see Super Saiyan 4 Goku has flying kicks on his square triangle. Now, with that being said, where your flying kicks are placed does matter. It's heavily important, okay? So overall, I recommend you only really play characters, as far as like my play style, who have flying kicks on either their first or their second square, like Janemba. It's still basically just as fast. It's not as fast, but it's basically the same thing. Okay. On Janemba, you could basically pull off the same combo. Does about the same amount of damage too with the slice ki blast. Now the thing about this is the slice knocks your opponent back, which isn't terrible, but with Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the shotgun ki blast, it kind of just keeps them there, where you can just continue to do it over and over again until they, you know, find a way to get out of it. Like, you can do it on Janemba, but, you know, I just find the other one better. But you can do it on Janemba. Now, say, for example, this is like the opposite side of the defense tutorial. You have a character that has flying kicks all the way on their 4th square, like Gogeta. Right? Takes a long time to get there. Characters like this usually are not meant for like super close-up combat, as far as like, you know, being like excelling at it, like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, for example, or Janemba, even for that matter. There are some characters who strictly thrive from like mid to long range, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, okay? Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. So a lot of y'all know his charged ki blast is this like charged up, you know, like I don't know what to call that, but like the charged up like rapid fire shots, right? Not only can he use this when he's moving, he has the missile ki blast, right? So overall, Gogeta is one of those characters where you will heavily thrive from playing like the ki blast style I told you earlier. You know, that is a lot of damage. So let me take Beerus's health to normal for a second, and you can see just about how much you'll get from just simply this. Half of a health bar, even just this, is a good amount of damage. Right? So if you were to land that, you're taking a huge chunk. I've already got Beerus down to like his 3rd bar health. Right? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So there are ways you can play neutral from farther away with characters like this. Not only characters like this, but you have Goku Black, for example. He also has the Slice Ki Blast, just like Janemba. So what I'm about to do, you also are able to do on Janemba's. So I'm just gonna show it on Goku Black. It's basically the same exact input as what I just showed you with Gogeta, except it's with the Slice Ki Blast this time. Now, to pull this off, you're gonna short dash. While you're doing that short dash, you're gonna do a charged Ki Blast. Now, after that, keep moving, charged Ki Blast, stop moving, charged Ki Blast. Now, the reason why you do this is because you can't do one just back to back. Like, if I try to move and do that charged ki blast, that same charged ki blast will not come out until it's disappeared. Now, you have 3 different values. Well, really 4 in the ascending ki blast. But assuming you're not on the ground, you have the short dash ki blast, the moving one, and the standing still one. Okay? So, with that being said, you can combine the 3 quickly and get that off. Get some quick little damage, and this works on literally any character with like a missile type ki blast or a slice type ki blast, okay? So like for example, back to Gogeta. Do that input, you'll come out with this. You know, really good damage off of that. That's half a health bar. You could do it with Janemba. Again, he has the slice ki blast as well as the missile when moving, which will come out to about the same amount of damage as Goku Black. Also, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, standing still, he has just the normal missile ki blast. So if you have a character that just has these, I mean, it's just 3 missile ki blasts, but it is lethal though. You know, it's not something to be played with. It is not something to be played with at all whatsoever. So this is overall how I would recommend you take a bunch of damage off your opponent from farther away in your neutral game. But say, for example, you're using a character like Gogeta, right? Now, yes, you have your ki poking and shit like that, right? And I guess this goes for characters with the slice type ki blast too, like Janemba and Goku Black. As you're doing this, you could just randomly throw this in, and if your opponent is standing still, just holding block, like how I told y'all in the defense tutorial, which is why I was telling y'all these 2 videos are like 2 sides of the same coin. You basically say they're just holding block, right? Like I told y'all not to do, because if you just start holding block as somebody's throwing these at you, whatever charged ki blast comes next is fucking you, okay? Like you're gonna get hit by it if you're not tapping that block button. So say they're not tapping that block button. Say your opponent is just letting you rain down charged ki blast with like on them just like this. You can do that on any character, right, that has the missile ki blast. But with Gogeta specifically, or characters with the slice ki blast. Now, mind you, the slice ki blast is unblockable, so you can just throw that in whenever if they're already like staying in the same spot and they're most likely getting hit. Even if they're moving a little bit, they'll still get hit by it. But Gogeta, for example, this is not unblockable. So say you're hitting your opponent with these and they're deflecting. As they're deflecting, throw that in there, boom, easy, like 3-4K, free, right? So these are just, you know, different things from long range you can do in neutral game, and I'm pretty sure seeing this, you already know some different characters you can do this with. Like for example, UI Goku, right? UI Goku has just a standing still like air blast, but it's only one of them. But I'm pretty sure y'all have seen it. Y'all know how insane that is. And that you can spam, just like how, for example, soon as this goes away, you can spam it again. See that? Soon as they go away off screen, you can spam it again. Okay? Not saying this is ethical, but this is something you could do. So like I said, you know, like you have that, you have your key poking, and you can do that not just, you know, moving into your opponent. You could also do that backing up to gain some space and then start shooting off your key blast, right? And then there are moves in neutral where it's like, okay, you have like Stardust Barrier, you know, like stuff you can pop off like that, where if somebody's shooting key blast at you, you can just pop that off. Cool, right? But another thing that also makes neutral very, very easy is instant transmission, okay? So instant transmission, you could use literally at any moment, right? Like I would say it's never a bad time to instant transmission unless, you know, like clearly your opponent is in sparking or something like that and they have like an explosive wave ultimate. Now then I would not recommend you instant transmission, clearly, right? But overall, say your opponent is charging into sparking, okay? Say you see them like charging their bar up and they barely start charging into sparking. Unless you instantly pop it off, basically as soon as they start charging into sparking, you're not catching them. So I recommend as soon as you see them get up to like that last bar, instant transmission. And depending on how they react the first time, I would just continue to do so. So like if they're just charging and they just keep charging into sparking, even though you instant transmission, next time you do it, just boom, instantly throw them in a combo, right? I mean, what else would you do in this situation? Like, why would you do anything else in that situation, right? So, you know, I'm gonna leave out certain stuff like, you know, the defense side of neutral, because clearly I covered that in the defense tutorial, as well as combos. I have a combo tutorial, and what you just seen me do was a combo reset. I also have a combo reset tutorial, so if you like any of that type of content, go over and watch those videos too. But last but not least, in neutral, the last thing I would recommend that y'all do, right? Say you have a character like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, for example. Like you have your key poking, but again, you don't have your, you know, missile key blast on this character. So what do? Like that basically makes up for it. Because you have, all I need is 5 seconds, which is supposed to be called I'll beat you in 5 seconds, but it's okay, we're gonna leave it alone. You could basically freely waste your key and not have to charge it back. So what does that mean? It makes it easier to come in on your opponent. So I don't recommend that you just do this and just right in front of your opponent leave yourself stuck with I'll beat you in 5 seconds on. What I recommend you do is that you come up key poking, and if you want to waste it, you know, just to get your key all the way up, say you and your opponent are both on low key, I say about this range, pop it off like this. Your opponent is stunned a little bit, just as much as you, because of the key blasts that are already out on screen. While they're out on screen, pop that I'll beat you in 5 seconds. Now you're at full key and your opponent is there. Now, at about this same range, continue your key poking, flying kicks into your 5 squares, into your shotgun key blast, which is your safe combo. Again, I recommend you do that combo because that is, in my opinion, the safest combo in the game, which gives you the most damage output that you can do over and over again because there's no knockback, right? So yeah, that being said, man, not even gonna lie, like other than that, the defensive side of neutral game is already out in a defense tutorial. If you want the defensive side of neutral, go watch that tutorial. And that's it, man. Not even gonna lie. Not much else I can teach y'all for offensive neutral. If I think of something, I'll throw it in at the end of the video. But with that being said, go watch that defense tutorial and any other, you know, tutorial type content for Sparking Zero on my channel. If you like the content, drop a sub. If you like the video and they help you, drop a like on the video. That being said, YouTube, I'll get y'all later.